dear mother have just come through a particularly nasty period. We went into the trenches on Wednesday night, and on Saturday morning at 5 a.m. our artillery commenced bombarding the German trenches, and after 20 minutes had elapsed we went over the parapet. My goodness, what a reception the Huns had for us. They simply swept the ground with machine gun fire and shrapnel. Poor old C Company caught it hot at Neuve Chapelle. It seemed to be a flea bite compared with us. It was found impossible to make any advance in our quarter, so I dug myself in and awaited events. I don't know how long we should keep it up. It seemed as though hell had broken loose. Shells were falling like summer rain. This bombardment started, and about half an hour later I, with 3 others, were ordered to start reinforcing. Had a dirty time yesterday morning dodging damn great bombs. The blighters were presented to us without exaggeration. They were 18 inches to a 2 feet long and made a hole about 10 feet deep and 15 feet diameter at least. Well, we didn't wait to see them burst. It was horrible suspense. To give you a slight idea, I can say the previous night, just in front of our reserve trenches, was a beautifully green field. The next morning, there was as much as one could do to see any grass on it at all. Simply one mass of craters. I was on sentry duty for a couple of hours from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. and was instructed to keep a sharp lookout. I did not care for this idea of keeping my head above the trench and looking for the beastly Germans. However, it had to be done. As long as you kept your head down, you were comparatively safe. It was quite uncanny to watch the enemy trench, which appeared somewhat like a black wave and only 60 yards in front. Then you would suddenly see a flash of their rifles and machine guns. Immediately after would come the report of nasty thuds on the sandbags which you might be resting against. I fired about 5 shots at their flashes. It's the only target to aim for, you see. And then another 2 shells which lodged in the parapet either side my head, leaving about 2 to 3 inches between me and certain death. We were awakened by a most awful thing. They can see descending through the air. The iron and dirt seem to be falling for a minute afterwards. They are disturbing, as I seem to be the only man untouched. All around me, being personally acquainted with each man made matters worse. In fact, it's all wrong to call them men, as they were mostly just mere boys. We lost several hundred men, and they were all my friends who came out the same draft and killed or wounded. About early afternoon, I was hailed from the trenches to whether it was possible for me to get back. I replied in the affirmative and decided to run the risk of getting potted on the way. We went up in four, it being considered safer that way, half a mile over open ground, this being swept continually with shells. So I commenced crawling on my stomach until about a few yards from the parapet. Then made a spring out and rushed headlong over the top, nearly spoiling the features of the few actors being in the trench and not expecting them. Dickie Gilson, his nerves had been in a shocking state. He'd brewed a lot, as you know, and that is absolutely fatal when you have a dirty job like this on. I've not seen either Frost or Kemble out there. Did not seem to meet anybody fresh, as we're always in the same district and relieve the same crowds generally. We were relieved that afternoon, but some of the fellows did not get in until nightfall, and these experienced another bombardment. Billy Hastings is quite fit and the only pal left. We've been resting since, and by all reports, we shall be up again soon. No rest for the wicked, it said. And in truth, we must surely be a bad lot. I lost all my belongings except my Gillette, so should be glad of a few toilet requisites when you're next sending a parcel. Do not trouble about towel, and perhaps Frank would get me a shaving brush. Much love to all, from your affectionate son,